Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to the show. I am Tokwe Mark Odige, and with me, as usual, are my beautiful ladies. So, this morning, we all showed up. I think Nima usually is the first, or Amaka today. Between Nima and Amaka, when I saw them, I said, we got the memo. Amaka said that we are all looking like wives of one very rich Alaji, Dangote level, Boha level, the way we are all looking. Only for Dami to show up.
Like bang da da dang.
Side chick. Like side chick. Can't you see you didn't get the memo?
Like bang da da dang.
Amaka is our last wife.
Last wife.
Senior wife, second wife, Amaka last wife. Side chick, we are ready for you. This Friday, we're not going to agree for anybody.
I'm the one Oga takes everywhere.
What's going on this weekend, ladies? What's the plan?
Okay, I have a speaking engagement tomorrow.
Again.
I'm moderating, panelists, and everything.
Is that the events you have been?
No, I've done that last weekend.
Okay.
That was huge. That one.
Good.
I've not finished talking about it. So I'm speaking at the Mindful Minds Summit. Organized by Rashida Okpere tomorrow. I hope I'll be early. I'm already preparing everything, and to fill the room.
Beautiful. All right, Amaka, our last wife.
The last wife is representing in Iyanga Lagos Christmas collection. The fabric is fabricking. Oga has done what he's meant to do. So please make sure you come to Iyanga Lagos because this is a game changer for Christmas. If you don't have this in your collection, I don't know what you're doing.
But how are you going to get it this December if you don't have this collection?
If you don't have this collection, how can you get it in December?
That's why this collection is your Yawule collection. You have to be inside. This collection is not outside collection.
We'll manage you small. Don't worry, we'll talk behind the scenes.
Because of that sweat that they side chick. I don't know how you people want to do so that we can be supporting the strikers. And that's why we're here. Okay.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing well. Today, particularly, I'm hosting the trade fair at National Stadium.
Oh, wow.
In fact, because I had to come to work and I had to just beg them, I was supposed to have resumed at 9, so I told her immediately after the show, I'm
going to
coming.
show up.
So
nice.
There's going to be a trade fair at National Stadium, Surulere,
Yes.
Brantel, Niger. And of course, I can't wait. I've hosted a couple of trade fairs, but I know that it's always rigorous. It's running from vendor to vendor, talking about it, engaging, marketing their products.
It's a lot of work.
I hope to see you all.
So you are wearing sneakers, Sha?
I'm wearing sneakers, of course.
Yes.
I'm wearing sneakers. So there's going to be a lot of
I once hosted
activity.
a trade fair at from sibling sisters. We are a group of Muslim sisters in business, career, and everything. And by the time I got home, they helped me massage my neck.
And your hand fan, please, the weather, your hand fan and then cover your face.
Cover my face.
So you don't burn.
The weather will be a bit favorable. We don't want rain in Jesus' name.
No,
so that
rain.
our people can come. So for all of you that have been looking for Damilola Badire, come and meet me at the National Stadium.
Damilola with the energy.
Live.
And TM with the money.
Yes, so
Number two. Number one.
Sorry about that.
It's first I will carry. I cannot come and carry second.
When I dressed my husband was like, you are giving rich aunt vibes. I said, let me go and find gold to wear because I need to complete the look. This is not bid kind of look.
I'm telling you.
But I'm going to Akure immediately after the show. All road leads to Akure for the Global Entrepreneurship Festival. You know, Dr. Sumi Smart Francis is doing something phenomenal, bringing the entire world to Akure. As in the first hotel I wanted to book, second hotel I want to book. All the hotels are booked out. That is economic activity for a state. And we need to encourage this kind of activities in other states. This is the kind of competition we want to see where entrepreneurs are going. I was even going to first say that the next year farm food produce would drop a lot more because I can see all my real estate people are now doing farm estates. And it's healthy competition. If we are all farming, if we are all doing events, if we are all going to Akure, going to Owerri, going to, different, it's not Lagos alone all the time. Yeah. Other states also can carry out activity. Yes, let's open up other parts of the country as well. So yes, I'm going to Akure and I'm excited. I'm going to be speaking about my favorite topic, money. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with the front page review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We're starting off front page review today with The Nation major headline. Tinubu, relief measures for poor and small businesses to go on. Tax reform designed to further stimulate the economy. 3 states to get ultimatum to decide on state police. Kwara, Kebbi, Adamawa listed. Sanwo-Olu proposes 3 trillion naira 2025 estimates. Work to start on Green Rail Line. In other news, House of Reps throws out 6-year single-term bill for president. Senate approves 1.77 trillion naira external loan request. BOI's support for MSMEs, others crosses $5 billion. And ECWA's arrest in Finland, victory for anti-terror battle. That's from the department, DHQ. So what story are we starting with?
Okay, so I have good news for the NDLEA. The Senate following its adoption of the report of the Conference Committee on the amendment of the NDLEA Act, they passed an amendment to that act. And this amendment now states, the committee recommended that any person who is unlawfully involved in the storage, custody, movement, carriage, or concealment of dangerous drugs or controlled substances, and who, while so involved, is armed with any offensive weapon or is disguised in any way, shall be guilty of an offense under this act and liable to conviction to be sentenced to life imprisonment. This has upgraded and empowered the NDLEA Act further. They also amended the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission. They empowered them. So they followed their consideration and adopted that a report of the National Planning and Economic Affairs, Finance and Appropriation plenary, and proposed that RAMFAC should now have power to monitor accrual to and disbursement from the Federation account. Or maybe that would encourage them, but the one that stands out for me is the NDLEA upgrade, because, we need stiffer penalties, and that's what we are looking at now.
The Bank of Industry, BOI, has garnered over $5 billion from the international capital markets through Eurobonds, loan syndications, and green finance instruments. The Managing Director, CEO of the Development Finance Institution, Dr. Olusi, said that concluded that a global loan syndication that raised nearly 2 billion euros, which in his words is the largest fundraising in BOI's history, and indeed the largest syndication in the history of African DFIs so far. He also said that to mark this historic milestone, he listed a bit of the achievements that they have done so far. He also stated that BOI's authorized share capital was increased to 250 billion naira in 2017, so as to put the bank in a position to address its mandates better. But that last year, May 2023, this increased to 500 billion naira. He also said that given the pivotal role of micro, small and medium enterprises in national economic development, BOI in 2014 emerged 122 small and medium enterprises consultants and entered strategic alliance with over 10 SMEs-friendly commercial banks, saying that as of today, BOI has over 300 business development service providers support SMEs nationwide. This is great because the more they increase this, the more they raise this, the more the available resources to be given out to medium and small scale businesses.
Good.
Yeah, I have the one of the 3 states to get ultimatum to decide on state police. Okay. And this one says Kwara, Kebbi, and Adamawa states have been listed as 3 of the states that are yet to submit their positions on state police and have been given 1-week ultimatum.
Take a position.
Yes, to take a position. The National Economic Council, NEC, which gave the order yesterday after its 146th meeting, explained that the council will take its decision on the creation of state police next month. And the NEC chair was the vice president in the Critical Economy Advisory Board, said that this NEC meeting was made up of governors and members of the federal government economic team. That after yesterday's meeting, the Bayelsa State Governor, Duoye Diri, said the council was updated with the submission of the establishment of state police, and it was reported that 33 states have submitted their positions, while 3 states are yet to do so. And these states, like I mentioned, Adamawa, Kebbi, and incidentally Kwara, which is the chairman of our forum, and the FCT are yet to submit their position. And the council has already said that after 1 week, they will be the one to enact these positions for them. So maybe they will now have a choice, or they will no longer have a choice. We'll wait till then.
Just take a position. You
Just
cannot be in
somewhere.
between.
Not be everywhere.
All right, so I'm taking the story about the president who was speaking in Rio de Janeiro to the IMF, the managing director of IMF, Madam Kristalina Georgieva. And this was because she met him at the sideline of the G20 meeting, which is going on in Rio de Janeiro, and spoke about the fact that there are lots of policies, the twin policy that the president carried out immediately he took power, which is floating the naira and removal of subsidy, is a policy that is in the right direction, though they are trying to carry out a lot of amelioration to the hardship that has been induced by the implementation of those policies. But those policies are in the right direction. In the conversation, they mentioned the fact that they are going to be continuing the stimulation, the support of small businesses. They said relief measures for the poor and small businesses would go on, and they're going to also work on the improvement of access to education, which is very critical. It's good to see our president being acknowledged at this level of the G20 meetings and getting interactions with the IMF. But the IMF, whenever we have conversations with the IMF, is always with a grain of salt that are they really for us or against us? And so we must be careful of, if they are hailing us, we should be careful, because hailing us doesn't necessarily mean that we're doing the right thing. Moving on to the Punch, major headline. Anti-Tinubu comments. ACF suspends chairman as Afenifere others back the president. Tinubu inherited Buhari's economic policies, Ohaneze, Middle Belt, others reply ACF. Other news, we cannot miss the picture of I think this is the National Executive Council. Usually it takes on Wednesday, but they did not put what is there. But they said the other stories we have beneath the pictures carry the fact that the serial grid collapse, NEC panel to boost power generation in states. Lagos, 3 trillion 2025 budget prioritizes infrastructure and tourism. Visiting US-based Nigerian bought 9 drugs before death. That's from the police. Winners get 77 million naira in Zenith Bank Tech Fair. 21 states enroll for the African Development Bank 850 billion agri scheme. Federal government governors decide on state police next week. ECWA's terror charge, federal government presses for extradition as IPOB disowns Biafra agitator. And PDP postpones NEC meeting as North Central insists on chair. All right, what story are we starting with?
It's a very short story. So on Wednesday, the Ogun State Police Command had been called on the issue of the lifeless body found in a hotel by the chief security officer of the hotel and I'd like not to state the name of the hotel, but the hotel did the needful. This visiting Nigerian, US-based Nigerian had found that he was not active in his room. They called on the phone number of his relative that he was locked from within, and his relative requested the spare key with which they went there, and they found him lifeless.
Wow.
Police were called in, and the police said, well, at the time the police arrived, they found the lifeless body already in the car by his family members who were already taking him for burial. And so investigations led to them finding about 9 different drugs and medications that he was using in his room, either stating that he was on some form of medication, really, or that,
and maybe they counteracted with the drugs being used.
I hope they will further investigate it to see.
Proper autopsy being done, don't just bury. Okay. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with the front page review. Please stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
The host, I can tell you that being a parent is one of the biggest reality shows you will ever produce. Hi. Oh, yeah. As cute as they can be, even you need to take a break to take care of some of the other realities of life. And that's why the TVC Staff Crash was put together to help parents just like me get those professional childcare services that they need. Come on, let's go. Let's go. The TVC Staff Crash Baby Lounge team of professionals are here to help take a load off your mind. The TVC Staff Crash is a nursing mom support system, a toddler safe haven, and a young learners academy throughout the year. It's comfortable, convenient, and with competitive pricing for the modern parent. So, while they learn through play, you can go about getting your pay. The TVC Staff Crash, open to the public from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Honey, what time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am here live by the aftermath of the approval of the new national minimum wage.
We are TV Station of the Year, not just for breaking news, but for being first, fair, and accurate. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. It's still Your View and we're going through the front page of the paper. The Punch is where we are.
The African Development Bank has onboarded 21 states for the second phase of its special agro-industrial processing zones program. We're excited about this. Yes, the Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma revealed this to State House correspondents after the 146th meeting of the National Economic Council at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja. He said that the projects of the program's pilot phase in Kano, Kaduna, Kwara, Oyo, Ogun, Imo, Cross River State, and the FCT at various stages of completion, and that the phase 2 is about to begin. Impressed by the program 2 weeks ago, there was a stakeholders meeting. They onboarded an additional 21 states. That means they're doing something right for 21 other states now to want to come on board. And he urged all the states to key into this program because it is going to be a game changer and it will go a long way in tackling the food security pursuit of the federal government. He also said that in February 5th, 2024, Senior Special Advisor on Industrialization to the AFDB President, Professor Banji, had said that, had told the Vice President Shetima that the pilot state will receive the first tranche of disbursement of $540 million from the bank to develop SPSs. He also finally now stated that he finally stated that a 2-day summit on a new global financing pact in Paris in late June 2023 that they had assured President Tinubu that the bank will support new administration's economic policies in Nigeria, placing the people first in development targets. This is exciting. And let's see how this happens with the hunger in the land and with agriculture. So
making food more affordable.
Yes, more affordable, it's key.
Okay, I have the one of rest 31-year presidential ambition, but they just tells Atiku, and this one, The former deputy national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Chief Bode George, has advised former President Atiku Abubakar to end his 31-year-long bid to be president. Nothing that Atiku's bid to be president dated back to the year 1993. George said it was high time for the former vice president to retire from the contest, especially in 2027. He was addressing pressmen at his Ikoyi, Lagos office yesterday, Thursday. George ordered Atiku to assume the position of an elder in the nation and leave the bid to posterity. So, Atiku, my advice to you is that you will be 81 years old in 2027 and you have been contesting for the presidency since 1993. This is the time for you to calm down and act like an elder. I appeal to you in the name of the Almighty Allah that you serve to take it easy and leave everything for posterity, George said. So this one, it looks like
it's a personal something.
Yeah, it looks, because I saw the video yesterday and I was like, okay, where is it coming? Anybody can run, as long as they don't run mad. They can keep running.
Oh, God. All right, so the Lagos State government, the governor actually has presented his appropriation bill for the year 2025 to the State Assembly in front of the Speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, and the budget is tagged budget of sustainability. It's supposed to be addressing infrastructure, sustainability, economic diversification, social inclusion and human capital development, environmental sustainability, as well as governance and institutional reform. There is going to be a green line. So we already have red, we have blue, and now they're working on the green line, and the budget for that has been included in this particular appropriation bill as well. However, a key part of this budget also includes tourism, which for me is really exciting because I feel that a lot of Nigerians, well, I particularly like to travel for tourism, and I see how some countries are intentionally pushing their tourists at locations, and I'm looking forward to the places I will go to. But Lagos has a lot of tourism points, but it is not collated into like, oh, visit Lagos, and these are the places you should see.
Highlights.
And all of that. So I'm looking forward to how that work. As always, we have not prioritized education as much as we should. Moving on to Daily Sun. Major headline in Daily Sun is reps reject 6-year single tenure for and favor power rotation. Move to increase number of FCT High Court judges from 75 to 100. In other news, I've taken the story of our governor presenting the budget. Crisis hits ACF over 2027 presidency. We're still in 2020, you know?
In 2024.
Interesting. ECWA's arrests, we haven't taken that story. The fact that the military hails the Finnish police and wants him extradited to face justice in Nigeria. National Assembly approves Tinubu's new external borrowing of $2.2 billion. Ifeanyi, it is finished. Once again, our heart goes out to his family. Federal government to continue to prioritize social investment programs. I already took that story. So, do we have any story in?
So I have the major headline in the Sun.
Okay.
So the House of Reps yesterday rejected the bill seeking to amend, moved by this group called itself the Ages of Reformed-Minded Legislators. And this bill seeks to alter Section 3, Section 7, Section 135, Section 137, Section 180, 182 sub 1 of the 1999 Constitution that we use presently as amended. And this bill was only seeking to alter the Constitution, of course, to provide for rotation of the executive powers among the 6 geopolitical zones to ensure equal representation, to reduce desperation and tempo of agitation across the country. You know what the last election was like. The bill also seeks to propose to amend Section 3 of the Constitution to provide for the recognition of the divisions of Nigeria, the 6th division, into 6 geopolitical zones.
Was that also rejected?
Also, those sections I'm just breaking down now. So the bill also seeks to amend the Constitution to provide for a single tenure of 6 years for the President of the Federation of Nigeria and the state governors. And this will bring, of course, about a reduction in government spending and wastage and promote efficiency in governance and national stability. But as the Speaker just said, those for Kinikon, they say, those who are kept quiet. When they say those are against, nay, so they just secondly at one side. End of matter for this bill.
Okay, the one I have here is the Katsina governor launching a community development initiative. And this one says that the Katsina governor, Diko Umaru Rada, has launched the Katsina State Community Development Program, KSCDP. DP. Speaking during the launch at the government house on Thursday, the governor described the project as an initiative designed to empower communities and ensure development of the grassroots through participatory governance. According to RADA, development is not a gift, it is a collective effort. This program represents our belief in the potential of every community, every family, and every individual in Katsina State. He also reiterated that each center will feature 3 critical offices: community development, community support, and community learning, designed to address infrastructure, social services, education, and economic empowerment. He further outlined that some of the key goals of the initiative to include enhancing social cohesion, economic empowerment, promoting gender equity, improving infrastructure access, and ensuring environmental sustainability. And he put categorically, he said, shifting from a top down to a bottom-up strategy fundamentally transforms project implementation. So we hope that because all of these our Kardashian states, the KKK states, we've seen them over the years, and we really hope that this development will be implemented, because a lot of people there, they are undereducated. In fact, most of them are not educated. Illiteracy is still a big thing around that area. So it will be nice to see the government implement.
Yes, our heartfelt condolence to the families of late Senator Ifeanyi Ubasi's late to rest today. I know the Igbo land today is going to be, filled with cries and, sadness, but, God is God, and our heart goes out to the family.
Moving on to Nigerian Tribune, major headline: State Police, Kwara, Kebbi, Adamawa, FCT get 1 week to submit position. Sanwo-Olu has presented his budget for 2025. Zenith Tech Fair, we've discussed. International Criminal Court issue arrest warrant for Israeli Prime Minister. At UBA, business series, experts say innovation, passion, crucial to build successful businesses. CDS hails IPOB leader Simon Ekpa's arrest in Finland, expresses hope of his extradition. National Assembly retirees lose 20. Others bed reading as federal government delays inauguration of pension board. Now, that is a story we must take before we go on a break.
Okay, so no fewer than 20 retirees of the National Assembly have died while waiting for the payment of their gratuities, pensions, and according to this source, non-payment of most of their pensions and gratuities is a result of the failure of the federal government and the National Assembly to inaugurate the National Assembly's pensions board. The reason I took the story was I wanted to blame them for not subscribing to the pensions board, only to find out that they didn't have. And so they're meeting with the speaker, with the president of the National Assembly, of the Senate, as well as, the president, hoping that this will be corrected. He said that they had a meeting in February, that a report that they submitted to the Senate president that has not been treated since February. We're in November now. And they have another letter that, was dated, trustees of the Council of Retired Clerks and Secretaries read, considering the pathetic health and conditions of our retired colleagues, Your Excellency would agree with us that the establishment of the National Assembly Pensions Board is overdue 5 months after the President's assent to it. And this is
still, it hasn't been done, and 20 have died, and the delay is not...
Exactly. So, and a 2-year-old former clerk is leading the team, talking with the Senate President. This is embarrassing.
Very, very.
Because these people are the highest connected. If it's about connection.
It's about connection, and they shouldn't be ignored.
I have the Finnish police arrest Simon Ekpa over terrorism charges. And this one, Finnish Nigerian separatist leader Simon Ekpa has been detained in Finland alongside 4 others over allegations of terrorism-led activities, including incitement of violence and financing terrorism. According to the Hame District Court, on charges of public incitement to commit a crime with terrorist intent. The Finnish Central Criminal Police confirmed the arrest on Thursday, revealing that other suspects are accused of financing terrorist activities. And the detentions are related to a preliminary investigation in which a Finnish citizen of Nigerian descent, born in the 1980s, is suspected of public incitement to commit a crime with terrorist intent, authorities said. So he's been proven like untouchable for a while.
A lot of Nigerian forces are happy about the arrest because it just shows that we're getting close to justice. IPOB have detached themselves from him, that is not, doesn't speak for them or represent them. But that's what we can take on front page review for today. When we return, we'll go into a conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Muhammad Ali was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky on January 17, 1942. His birth name was Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. He began training as an amateur boxer at age 12, and at 18 he won a gold medal in the light heavyweight division at the 1960 Summer Olympics and turned professional later that year. In his early years as a professional, Clay was more highly regarded for his charm and personality than for his ring skills. He sought to raise public interest in his fights by reading childlike poetry and spouting self-descriptive phrases like float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. On February 25, 1964, at age 22, he pulled off a major upset, defeating Sonny Liston to win the World Heavyweight Championship. That same year, he shocked the boxing establishment again by denouncing his birth name as a slave name and formally took the name Muhammad Ali, which was given to him by his spiritual mentor Elijah Muhammad, leader of the Nation of Islam. For the next 3 years, Ali dominated the boxing arena. Then, on April 28, 1967, citing his religious beliefs, Ali refused induction into the U.S. Army at the height of the Vietnam War. Ali was stripped of his championship and precluded from fighting by every state athletic commission in the United States for 3.5 years. Ali's message of black pride and black resistance to white domination was on the cutting edge of the civil rights movement. In October 1970, Ali was allowed to return to boxing, but his skills had eroded. On March 8, 1971, he challenged Joe Frazier, who had become heavyweight champion during Ali's absence from the ring. It was a fight of historic proportions, billed as the fight of the century. Frazier won a unanimous 15-round decision. Following his loss to Frazier, Ali won 10 fights in a row, 8 of them against world-class opponents. After defeating Norton in a rematch, he fought Joe Frazier a second time and won a unanimous 12-round decision. Ali was the first fighter to win the World Heavyweight Championship on 3 separate occasions. He successfully defended his title 19 times. His place in boxing history as one of the greatest fighters ever is secure. His final record of 56 wins and 5 losses with 37 knockouts has been matched by others, but the quality of his opponent and the manner in which he dominated during his prime placed him on a plateau with boxing's immortals. Outside boxing, Ali attained success as a spoken word artist, releasing 2 studio albums, I Am the Greatest 1963 and The Adventures of Ali and His Gang vs. Mr. Tooth Decay 1976. Both albums received Grammy Award nominations. He also featured as an actor and writer, releasing 2 autobiographies. Muhammad Ali retired from boxing in 1981 and focused on his religion, philanthropy and activism. In 1984, he made public his diagnosis of Parkinson's syndrome, which some reports attributed to boxing-related injuries, though he and his specialist physicians disputed this. He remained an active public figure globally, but in his later years made fewer public appearances as his condition worsened and he was cared for by his family. Ali was chosen to light the Olympic flame at the start of the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta, Georgia. He died on June 3, 2016. Maya Angelou was a civil rights activist, poet, and award-winning author known for her acclaimed 1969 memoir, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, and her numerous poetry and essay collections. Angelou was born on April 4, 1928 in St. Louis, Missouri. Angelou had a difficult childhood. Her parents split up when she was very young. Around the 1960s, Angelou lived in Ghana working as an editor and a freelancer. Unity of revolutionist returnees exploring Pan-Africanism and became close with human rights activist and black nationalist leader.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. In this segment, the ladies will be narrating their various game changer stories. Stories that defined different moments that have shaped their lives, their career, and will each be highlighting our personal stories of resilience, determination, and achievement of what once was deemed impossible. Let the game changer begin. All right, Nima, what's your game changer story?
Okay, my game changer story will be an employer who looked out for me. In a package that, you know, they could have looked away from me. It's business, you get jobs thrown at you every time, and somebody can just decide, because you have signed the contract, not to look out for your interests. The person went further and said, what is my person getting? What is in it for my person? And that was huge for me, because I would not have seen it coming. But when I received it, I deeply appreciated it. And for me, it was huge, because subsequently, I knew to negotiate such terms clearly. You know, you don't come with all the experience that you need. But over time, seeing people who look out for you is big, is huge for me. And so I can't even underestimate that.
That's very true, because, you know, sometimes you go into these transactions and it seems like everybody is out for each other's interest, you know. Amaka?
Yeah, this year so far, the creativity, you know, in our brand was a game changer. You know, like when I started the show today, I told you people, like, you know,
you had a new collection.
I had a new collection. It's been a game changer. You know, people love it, and yeah, we're thriving, and it's Christmas, so let's hope that the game-changing outfits and new collections, they sell for the Christmas season.
No, but we're talking about resilience now. Like, your business has gone through a whole lot this year.
Yes.
No band to band A.
No band A, and a whole lot of things. Prices of things.
Yes, and you were telling me in the makeup room about how expensive fabrics that you bought.
Exactly.
And you're scared to use it now because the prices, that
it doesn't relate. So the creativity that we now need to, we have to think outside the box in terms of using the fabrics. And that was a game changer for my business.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, my game changer story is going to be a bit long, but I really want to use this to encourage every young girl outside, because it was a true life story. I remember some years back, about 8-9 years back, before I had my son, and somebody tried to introduce me to his friend, a godfather of mine, introduced me to his friend, who was actually a divorced person. He's been divorced like 12 years. So I remember we've been talking like months and months, and this particular day he called me and he said he was so bored, and like, Dami, can you come spend some time with me? I'm lonely and all of that. And I wasn't even really doing anything. So he came around, he picked me, we went to his house. So I helped him do a bit of tidy, and this was already into 10, 11 o'clock at night. Wow. I helped him do a bit of tidy, and I just slept on the couch. And the man that they said, come inside now, come and sleep. I said, I didn't really feel like sleeping on the bed. That the same thing that I feel is wrong with you was also wrong with me. I'm just running through a lot of emotions, and just let me be like this. So I noticed that after an hour, he came back and he was like touching me. And I'm like, what's this?
Well,
so,
I love.
you understand? So in the period of like 40 minutes, I got so furious that I slammed one of my small phones on the floor. And the man was like, I didn't know you were a psychopath. I said, I will leave your house now. And do you know, I left. I trekked from inside around that Chivita area. I trekked to the bus stop at 7 and 8 that night at about 1 a.m. And there was one...
Are you talking of the Chivita Isolo?
Yes.
You checked from that place?
From Chivita, outside. Because at the first instance, when I went out, he was like, oh, sorry, I can't let you go at this time. It was already to 12. I came back inside. The same situation continued. And in my head, I'm like, this is not why I'm here. So I eventually left. And I told him, I said, as I'm going, if you call me, let me not say God will punish you. So I left. And I noticed that when I was walking, and that day, coincidentally, I had just like about 650 on me. And I just felt like, okay, my phone, ATM I can do. But that day, as God wanted to punish devil, my phone died. So as at that 1 o'clock, the only thing I hung on was my resilience, was my perseverance, that instead of me to do this that I've said I'll not do, I'd rather walk on the street. And I remember that when I was walking on that street, one young guy, you know, he just saw a lady on the street and he was coming close to me. And I told him, I said, if I took you, as in, I didn't know where that strength came from, to talk to somebody at like 1 a.m. And guess what? I eventually got to 7 and 8 bus stop, the taxi rank, and I sat down there till 6 a.m.
Wow.
Yes, true life story. I sat down there because the taxi man couldn't pick me. I couldn't do transfer. My phone was dead. But the whole of the emotions when I got home was that if I could take a decision, I didn't know I could take that decision. So it was a game changer for me to say, you know what, if I'm going to walk this road, I can walk alone. So no matter how long it takes, you can be on that road. And later on, light will shine. People will see your perseverance. People will see your resilience. And I think after 2 years later, the person came back begging and like, oh, can we now start a proper relationship? I now told him that if I had died that night for straight 2 years, because I said you shouldn't call me and you didn't call me. So for straight 2 years, you went mute. And you didn't bother. So I still had that thing in my mind, like, no, there are a lot of people that I understand that, yes, situations compel them to do things, and they don't think of what could change their game or what can change their game. But that day, my game changer was just the perseverance, the resilience, and I know that if I can walk out of somebody's house at 1 a.m.
Don't try me.
Nothing can happen. I can stand on my own, and with God on my side. I mean, so that's my game changer.
Yeah, that's a really powerful story. Thank you for sharing it with us. Sadly, some comments on YouTube are making me, is distracting me into hot topic level. Because someone was like, what were you expecting when you go to a man's house and you're there late?
Are you kidding me?
Hello. See, we need to celebrate men that have discipline. Exactly. I have a friend that when I was squatting in my first semester, and I didn't like, I was having issues with the lady I was squatting with. Like, I was a squatter, I paid though, it wasn't like it was free squatting. But the person was just always cursing, and one of the things I cannot stand in my life is someone that will be cursing. Like in the morning, you wake up, is ekpe, like ekpe lori ekpe.
Maya Angelou was a civil rights activist, poet, and award-winning author known for her acclaimed 1969 memoir, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, and her numerous poetry and essay collections. Angelou was born on April 4, 1928 in St. Louis, Missouri. Angelou had a difficult childhood. Her parents split up when she was very young. Around the 1960s, Angelou lived in Ghana working as an editor and a freelance writer. Angelou also held a position.
He did not control himself and did not have ability to honor and appreciate you for who you were at that time. But for me, my game changer story would be around, this real estate matter. So I got to one of our estates, went to pray there. Dr. Limide Emmanuel actually already came and he prayed and he left, but we're not trying to do content. As we were flying through and all of that, that's how bikes started coming. They were coming with bike and cutlass and knives and all of that. And someone came, one of them came and stood beside me, wrapped a really like big Indian hem and was smoking it into my face and was saying, you're not shooting anything here today. Brought out to drink, I was drinking and I have a lot of female staff. I just told them, just go to the car, don't worry. And they were like, no, who did you buy this land from? Where did you come from? And I was like, even my husband was shocked at the way I stood and I was looking at their face and said, nothing, this land I have bought. This land is my land. You cannot shift me from this place. There is nothing if you like, use chimney to be smoking. I'm not bothered by you. I'm not moving. You can't push me away from here. And that's been my story at every point in time. I've had estates where there was fights. Nima was aware of that story. We were going to police, going to task force. I got my land back 100%. Somebody came there, cleared the place, did fence. But in Nigeria, we all have, every Nigerian has a game changer story, because for you to survive and thrive in Nigeria, Omo, you will be resilient, you will fight battles. Nima is an Ijabite, you're doing law, you're doing TV, you are doing law, you're doing TV, you're doing, every Nigerian have multiple stories to tell about how they've been game changers. And that is what we're celebrating on this short segment of the show. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll move on to our hot topic of the day. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Of Ghana for a time before she joined a community of revolutionist returnees exploring Pan-Africanism and became close with human rights activist and black nationalist leader Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. In 1961, Angelou appeared in an off-Broadway production of Jean Genet's The Blacks with James L. Jones, Lou Gossett Jr. and Cicely Tyson, and went on to earn a Tony Award nomination for her role in the play Look Away 1973 and an Emmy Award nomination for her work on the television miniseries Roots 1977, among other honors. Angelou's career has seen numerous accolades, including the Chicago International Film Festival's 1998 Audience Choice Award and a nod from the Acapulco Black Film Festival in 1999 for Down in the Delta. She published 7 autobiographies, 3 books of essays, several books of poetry, and is credited with a list of plays, movies, more than 50 honorary degrees, and television shows spanning over 50 years. She also won 2 NAACP Image Awards in the Outstanding Literary Work Non-Fiction category for her 2005 cookbook and 2008 Letter to My Daughter. After experiencing health issues for a number of years, Angelou died on May 28, 2014 at her home in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. In May 2021, it was announced that Angelou will be one of the first women to be commemorated with a new series of quarters from the U.S. Mint.
Think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Oh wow, my typical day is filled with meetings, consultations, and of course traffic, and that's all part of the hustle and bustle of city life. But the real fun starts when I can just settle down and catch up with all my favorite
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So a civil servant got married over the weekend and he spent 6 million naira on expenses. He was able to realize 350,000 naira from the total money spread. According to him, his wife wanted a loud wedding and he agreed. But now he is regretting it because he borrowed money. What are your thoughts on this? To join the conversation, you can call us on 0810-764-1679 or 090-241-63440. You could also tweet to us using hashtag #YourView on TVC. On X, we're so used to saying Twitter. We're also live streaming on YouTube. You can go there and drop your comments. One of the ladies will pick your comments. So here is the true story of a civil servant. How much is a civil servant's salary? How did he afford 6 million naira? And for some people, 6 million naira is just money for drinks. For some people, it's even event hall self is for deco. So, but for this person, 6 million was a big deal, and what he realized from the wedding was 350,000 naira. Which also brings us to the point of: are you supposed to do events to realize money?
Exactly.
Well, was the expectation right or wrong?
You were very wrong.
Okay, so Nima, let me hear.
In the times that when I got married, glass cup used to be the most important thing, the wedding gift, and cooler. I didn't take any of my wedding gifts to my house.
Oh.
I'd set up my house, small family, small house idea before I got married. So my things, and I had aunties I knew want to come and spend money. I sent them freezer list, cooker list, everything list. The person that did not send my money. So I used my money. With my husband's money, we had our wedding. We had our house set. Everything that I wanted in my house was put there. Thanks to my husband. My husband was buying everything as if to make the list before the walima of my wedding, because I had my wedding and the walima a year after. But to put your interest in the party that you are doing to make money, it's possible in your circle. You know, the Ijebus do something. They don't come to your party and eat and get up. Yolu used to do one thing. As a Shagamu woman, whenever we're going for any party, for anybody, she said, so that when we get there, we'll give them something. Yeah. I used to find it odd because I'm not Yoruba now, and I used to just go to party and enjoy my life and get up. So she would insist that we put some money together. No matter who the person was, if they born baby, we are going there as our community women, and as their driver that I am, we always have our money in our envelope that we will drop for the person doing party. Because we will eat at your party, we believe that you've spent money to host us, and we'll some way carry the cost. I learned that. But if you don't have those kind of people in your circle, sure, you know, go do party. You simply do the party as according to your body and your pockets. You don't do the party and get home, and you'll be looking silly. You know, I see the pressure of this civil servant from the wife to meet society standards, but she did not realize that there are other standards after marriage. Yes, so. Me too, I pressured my husband when I was getting married. The pressure was, what will our health plan be? I remember that one clearly. Where's our HM? And he was like, I'm working on it. I need to see the health plan. I need to see if something were to happen to you, where I will take you. I will not be calling family and be saying, well, at the hospital, they say we should pay money for bed. God forbid it. The hospital should know to expect us. And he found it strange, but that was how I grew up. I remember that fight. We went to a funny hospital on Old Ojo Road, and you can't forget that story. Where we're looking for the package, we found the hospital that we've used now for 15 years. But that hospital knows me, knows my children, knows my husband, knows my parents, everybody has our history. Those were some of the things I fought for. So if you want to fight, fight for what makes sense. Because long run, I had fertility issues. And it was that hospital I had my first treatment till I had my first child. So imagine that we didn't have a plan. And one of my injections was 25,000 for the fertility injections I would take, progesterone injections I would take there. They find them up and down this Lagos to find. And the hospital always had it ready. So give me. I must take it within 3 days of a certain period. And they had it. But imagine that we're queuing up with such so fight with yourself, because you really don't know what is ahead of marriage. But not that you want to satisfy society, you want to do picture, photo, shoot, all those nonsense and things that you like. If you want to shoot if you can afford it. But if you cannot afford it, let it go. Exactly. It's not do or die.
Yeah, I'm so proud of Nima, because people should get their priorities straight. And I'm so proud that you put health for your family, getting married first, because that shows your mentality and your way of thinking. And there's something I always say on the show: marry your kind, marry your type. Do you understand? Because you cannot marry someone that is making you go way and above your budget. I believe that for every individual, firstly, before you even want to get into raising the family, you should have a budget for everything, right? You should know how much you're earning, how much your partner...
You don't have budget, though, but...
Yeah, you should not, at least, but when you want to plan, there must be a projection. You understand? You cannot just wake up and then go haywire and then borrow money and go haywire without even thinking of how you're going to pay back that money, even for something as simple as business. Even when you want to think about how many kids you want to have now in 2024, it's still budget planning. You have to think, like, can I afford this? Can I afford to feed or train these kids? So it is really crazy that a human being will go borrow money to have an elaborate wedding that they can't afford, expecting other people to fund it. If for Kukuma called the wedding fundraiser now, so that people people have a choice whether to attend or not to attend. Because people are attending your wedding to celebrate with you and then give you and support you from their hearts, whatever they feel like that they want to support them, the young couple with. But then if you call it a fundraiser, then people will not have a choice whether they want to attend or not. And if they're attending, how much they want to spend at a fundraiser, right? So him being upset now, I don't know what that is, but I hope he has also learned his lesson moving forward within the marriage, that when maybe that he has to be the one in charge of the finances of the family. That obviously his wife might not be the best partner to handle the finances of the family, because you can see what happened. Yeah. But it was really, for me, it was really a foolish act. Over to you.
Okay, so to start with, there is nothing like loud wedding of 6 million. Yeah, it's mixed wedding. The wedding did not have volume. It doesn't have a volume. And to me, it's like, we just entered 70,000 minimum wage. So was it this era of 70,000 minimum wage he went to borrow 6 million? And I am most definitely, I'm most sure that he never told anybody he borrowed money from, that he wanted to use that money for a wedding. Somebody would have advised him sensibly. Now, on the other hand, if we begin to narrate, break down, I just see a man who is not man enough to take a stand. Yes. And these are where the faults begin to come in from. When you cannot take a stand against, I'm the one paying. Then when we were growing up, I thought the marriage idea was the parents sponsoring. And
no, that's for
when
Yoruba.
We were growing up...
No, that's for the Yorubas.
That's for the Yorubas. Okay, yes, that's for my tribe. The Yoruba parents are the one, both parents are the parents of the bride, and because they expect that as at that time, probably the child is not grounded enough to raise money for the wedding. So it used to be between the parents. But now that parents have neglected their duties, a lot of their duties, to the children who have started making money at an early age, we have seen a paradigm shift that children now decide. In fact, children now pick dates and just go and give their parents that. Yes, so. And giving them the date is like, if you like attend, if you like not attend, I've given you dates. I've invited
that
you.
No old people were there are no old people.
Do you understand?
Our own wedding is our parents' wedding.
So a lot of times when we now begin to aggregate all of this or propagate all of these stories, one, the man is not a firm man, and I foresee that there will be problems in the marriage because the wedding is just one day. The marriage is for a lifetime till the wheels fall off. So now that the girl has an influence, has a bigger influence, are you telling me that if they go broke somewhere, the girl can say, oh, you're going to start Yahoo, and you start. Yes. You're going to start carrying gun, and you go there. So the man is not firm enough. Then, like Amaka also said, I'm also a believer of find your match. Either in bedmatics game, either in life, either find your match. Because a lot of, there was an event I went to Anchor which day, and I was just making a joke about we women. That at the long run, we wear hair of 6 million on top of an empty head. Because there's no completed building inside that head. As in, very carcass.
Even carcass no day there.
Even carcass no day some people.
They've not done foundation.
So when you begin to talk to a girl, from your talking stage, you should be able to analyze. You would have left her and let her wait for their Dangotes and their Denugas that can fund or propel that big wedding she wants. You're a civil servant, for crying out loud. So I want to believe that the next 1 year of your salary, are you paying debt? Or are you also begging people to service your debt? Now, what is her impute? If she had made you spend 6 million, it means that this whole pain I'm reading is like the girl didn't even have an impute, but she had a say to dictate how and where you want to spend the money. So from the beginning, from the foundation, this is all shades of wrong.
For me, it's the girl we should talk to. We should sit on that girl.
Now, another thing I think is that we don't teach contentment enough.
Exactly.
So the deficit from the girl might be from home.
Yeah, of
you
course.
might have transcended from home, the setting, then she grew up with it and meet with some peer pressure that had a larger-than-life kind of attitude.
Social media now, everybody wants their wedding to be friends.
Because I saw something that is quite related. Let me just drop it. The girl and her talking stage went to a club, and the guy gave her money to spend on strippers, and The guy was actually chastising her for spending only 1.5 on the strippers when he gave her a bundle of 50,000. And the guy was like, I can't do this anymore. My friends were watching. And in my head, I'm like, the person that have head did not have cap. The person that have cap did not have head. And because you should be happy that, oh, she could bring in some money, she could rake in some money. And the girl said, should I spray stripper and go home and drink Gary? And the guy was like, oh, so these things, when people say follow your type, these are the conversations you must open wide. It's not conversation that you cover.
Yeah. So we'll go on a break. When I come back, I'll give my own opinion on this matter. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Oh, wow. My typical day is filled with meetings, consultations, and of course, traffic. And that's all part of the hustle and bustle of city life. But the real fun starts when I can just settle down and catch up with all my favorite programs on TVC. Believe me, it's pure entertainment.
Experience information and entertainment like never before as TVC Breakfast takes your weekends to a whole new level. Introducing TVC Breakfast Weekend Edition, your ultimate source of thrilling sports updates, insightful political analysis, and captivating entertainment news. Stay in the know with what's trending, catch up with the latest in sports, and immerse yourself in the latest buzz from the world of music and movies. Your weekends are no longer just days off, but moments packed with knowledge, excitement, and enjoyment. TVC Breakfast Weekend Edition, only on TVC News.
Voted as the best TV station of the year. TVC News breaks into the core of every event as they happen, following all nationwide big and impactful stories. Without the news from every perspective, covering every human angle. I am Veronica, bringing you the news you would want to watch.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So we'll be discussing a civil servant that spent 5 million naira on his wedding ceremony. 6 million naira on his wedding ceremony and retrieved or recovered or received 350,000 naira. Repatriated, even on top of the fact that there was a loan involved in this. So let me share my own personal experience. Not be today they don't start this matter. Because when I was a makeup artist and I'd done bridal makeup, I've done bridal makeup before. And they told me to wait. I'm not joking. I waited till, you know when you do makeup before the party starts. Yes. I waited until they were spraying money. They gathered spray money to pay me my balance as a makeup artist.
Oh, man. I've seen that as an MC too.
I waited and I was waiting and waiting. I'm like, I want to go. They say, no. They made me feel like I should wait because they want me to touch up the bride's makeup. That wasn't it. Pay my balance, let me go. They said, no. I said, but it's already late. Until they sprayed money. The person that was helping them to count the money now counted and sorted and paid me balance for makeup from the money they sprayed. So if the spray did not come, what will happen? We also used to be a people that Nigerians used to buy from savings. We used to spend our savings. When you want something, you save. If you're getting married, you would save. Some people change their date so that their money would accumulate before the wedding. But now, because we now have this proliferation of loan apps and opportunity to borrow, our culture is changing. Nigerians now are living, they were like, oh, if I cannot afford it, you borrow from this clinical pay, another, as like, they are borrowing from like 4, 5 apps. And then people are now chasing you. You now say you cannot sleep. And I know somebody watching me will be like, Papa, you cannot understand. It's because you have. That's not true. It is a culture.
It's a culture.
Borrowing is a culture. Holding and saving is also a culture. It is no human being should borrow money to, what is not an investment? For free, to flex.
No, you are even the money coach. But let me tell you, we have different ways of raising this money. Okay. Some you raise by your reputation.
Yes.
When we were growing up, if your auntie was coming,
take this call from
please take call.
I'll come back to you.
Take call, please.
Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Lukman Ajadi Abdullah. I'm coming from Ajegunda, Papa.
Good to have you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Well, to me, I believe the guy is looking for cheap publicity. And he's a greedy man as well. Because previously they said we should cut our coat
according to
our material. not according to our side this time around. So if you could raise 6 million, you cannot use that for business. Your aim is to use it for marriage. Even though if your girl is telling you should do that, and you are a sensible man, you should be able to advise her that we have a lot of things to do. Nigeria of today, to raise 1 million is not even easy. So if somebody could help you with which amount of money, up to 6 million, and you use that for marriages, that means it's not a serious guy. So I mean, it shouldn't be somebody should help.
Thank you so much, Nima. You were saying.
So I was saying the way to raise money without necessarily working for your wedding, building that relationship with the people around you early. When I was getting married, my parents do it. When their friends' children are getting married, one person is in charge of the cow. One person is in charge. There was one particular wedding. The entire firewood, there was no gas cooking camp. We bought a truck full of firewood to that family.
Your contribution.
My parents used to do it. So when we were getting married in my family, it's normal. We're 4 girls. You would just be seeing trucks coming. There was a freezer. It will be shame on them. Not to, some will call, let me just pay. I do it now. I'll call my younger ones. Well, auntie, this is your wedding. I'm paying for your makeup artist. Send me the bill. That's how you build it. But children of these days, they just relax. There was a particular wedding of a child I went for. I deliberately did not spray her. She was looking at me, waiting for me. Once they came, auntie, you're on the chat table. I said, which chat table? No, I'm not your guest. I'm your mother's guest. Because this girl does, they will tell her, go and greet auntie. If you bring a bag, you come to the house in a dirty car, the brother too will not get up. They'll be watching. When you're not leaving, auntie did not give me something. There were ways we built it. When our aunties were coming from work those days, we have carry bag. Yes. Our auntie wants something, it's not them who will do it. You were resourceful. They will reward it at a particular point. That's because talking of the cultures. Those things are missing now.
No. I need to even celebrate some of my big uncles. Let me take this call. Messi has called in from Egbeda. Because my wedding was community
wedding.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Messi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. This is my first time calling.
Yay! You're welcome to the show.
This topic is very, very interesting. Like I was saying, that guy actually does not actually know what he's doing. Because you're going to borrow 6 million. And even if you're earning that 6 million per month, like I don't expect you to borrow or to spend that kind of money for an event and expecting people to give you back in this kind of economy that is Mogbomoya, that is not raining. Like, you hear Mogbomoya. If people are coming to eat your food. Nobody's even caring.
They don't even buy gifts anymore.
No. Yes. So that guy, I would just say I'm sorry for him, but maybe
Thank you, Mercy. You know, I wanted to shout out to that he's still alive and is doing well. Was a former, my dad's elder brother, former commissioner of police in Lagos State, Akiyemi Odubela. He's a cow. We had bought cow, and 2 days to my wedding, we just saw cow. Where did cow come from? We've bought cow already. They said, Daddy Agba. We call him Daddy Agba because he's the eldest, eldest in my dad's family, sibling. So Daddy Agba sent cow. My aunt is, she was a former deputy controller in immigration, sent rice. Like rice, there was cow, there was beans. As in, the wedding, my wedding ceremony was, my family, my dad's family, my mom's family, they showed up. It was not a case of, we didn't buy rice because we knew that rice was going to come. There was a lot of rice. Even after the wedding, I carried rice home because there was just enough. Those that could not even bring rice brought a lubo, my mom is in Charcoal Association. They brought there was communal support because we had cultivated those relationships ahead. You know, my husband, that one, they were cutting check for him ahead of the wedding. It's important, and if you cannot have those relationships, do the one in your pocket. And yet, even with all of these ones, so I did not do past myself. I went to the court, went to my church for church blessing. I didn't do ceremonial white wedding. I only did ceremonial traditional wedding. Not because I could not afford to, if I wanted to squeeze myself, but it wasn't an investment. There was still, the wedding is one day. Marriage is a lifetime. The wedding is one day. So don't spend the entire money on wedding, forgetting that you have a marriage.
You started with an investment mindset. You obviously had some money that you could have used to show off. No. But you thought, I'd rather put this money in investment. That's how marriage mindset should start.
Just like what Tokwe said, I remember that till now, my father brags about the fact that he single-handedly did his wedding. But guess what? I had been born. And I'm the third child. And he said because my mom is from Kwara, my dad is from Lagos, that Kwara people feel that Lagos people are never serious. So he decided to show them, you know, this perception about Lagos boys that they're never serious, they don't have one wife. You that you're from Kwara, a young girl. He married my mom at 19. They met at 19. So I think after like 22, 23, she has had me. Then they did that proper wedding. But I see that glory in his eyes that he says, like in his words, Titi kon glass cup at Shibi, a minimora.
Yeah.
That he didn't want that Kwara people to say, it's ones that brought a lubo for them. If we didn't bring a lubo, they wouldn't have had damala. So he had that plan with my mom. That, okay, you know what? I can't afford it now. But give me time, I will do that wedding proper, which he did. I remember that I was at Ebute Meta. I still have pictures there. I think I was about 5 years or so, but I still remember that picture. And now this is where it also comes from. Yes, religion is one thing to say, okay, we want to go into marriage. You have to solidify the union before you begin to have children.
Religion does not support party.
No, I'm not saying party. The fact that, okay, it's not everybody that can go my father's route and say, okay, but we've seen it. People have been together for 10 years, 15 years. I've anchored weddings where they have children, 3, 4 children, and they decide to now spend lavishly on that wedding because they planned for it over the years. And the man is comfortable enough to say, okay, you know what, it's not. But I know from the inception they would have done something little, maybe just take a bride price.
Yes. At least you can just go to court.
You understand? But this idea that if it's not big yet, we can't start. No, I think we need to
I'll come to you, Amaka, after the break. Let's take a quick break. When we return, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
The host, I can tell you that being a parent is one of the biggest reality shows you will ever produce. Hi. Oh, yeah. As cute as they can be, even you need to take a break to take care of some of the other realities of life. And that's why the TVC Staff Crash was put together to help parents just like me get those professional childcare services that we need. Come on, let's go. Let's go. The TVC Staff Crash Baby Lounge team of professionals are here to help take a load off your mind. The TVC Staff Crash is a nursing mom support system, a toddler safe haven, and a young learners academy throughout the year. It's comfortable, convenient, and with competitive pricing for the modern parent. So, while they learn through play, you can go about getting your pay. The TVC Staff Crash, open to the public from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So we've been discussing this wedding thing. Now I'm trying to move it away from wedding ceremony to just birthdays and parties generally. You know, somebody is borrowing money to do birthday party. You clocked 40, you're shutting down and you don't have money, or you're clocking 50 and you must do a party, do photo shoots, do all those ceremony. Because I know that, let me just call out somebody that was on this set. Because last year when she did 40, Instagram did not take. Even till Amaka shuts down. Amaka, you are bending your head.
I've passed out.
You cannot pass out. If you see Amaka's photo shoot, the gown, the ball gown was like, it passed bridal gown.
She must have been planning for it. 40.
You know,
Amaka is the camera is on you.
It's not right. She didn't borrow money she didn't have. That's the point.
Even the dash that will come ahead, like, oh, it's your birthday, Amaka, oh, this.
Anyways.
Oh, yeah, I've put you on the floor.
You put me on the floor. Then, like I always say, I'll keep reiterating it. Man, know thyself. I don't believe that you should. I believe that before, my parents are from the finance background. My mom, since I could walk, my mom has been a manager with Union Bank. And so she taught the discipline of money, how to handle money, management. My dad is a chartered accountant. Yes, so I'm a banker. So I grew up in that setting where before you spend money on anything, you should have it 3 times over. You understand? And then and proper planning. And man, know thyself. Contentment is key. You need to be able to do things. You might feel that, oh, this party this girl did is lavish. For me, it's just a party I did. For me, it's just normal. I wish I would have even gone more overboard. Because that's me. So that thing you're calling as lavish, another person is like
small.
It's small. But then, like I also say, man, know thyself. My sister, we're 2 girls, you know, and she's turning 40. Well, we look so much alike. I'm the fairer version. She's a darker version. But in terms of personality, we're so different. We talk every day. She's a medical doctor in Canada, right? But she's having a 40, but she's not going to do a lavish event. She's not going to do that gown. She's not going to wear that gown. But she was the one that, when I was shopping for the gown in Turkey, going to America, she'll be saying, this is it. I even bought one of the tall dresses I was going to wear. And then this was pretty expensive. And she called me and she said, you know, I'm your sister. I'm just going to tell you the truth. This is not you. This is not giving extra. This, that.
You have to give extra.
Yeah, you need to go overboard. And I didn't wear that clothes. I had to go buy another clothes because she was telling me that. But she will not wear that dress. She's having a 40. She's trying to get away. She's doing something smaller. That is who she is. You understand? So you need to know yourself. Personality matters. Don't let anybody push you into doing what you don't want to do. Like I say, marry your type. If you know that you're a very conservative person in terms of spending, you have a 5-year plan, 10-year plan financially, make sure that you're with a partner that understands the vision and value, yes, of your plan, financial plan. Well, to another person, you might be feeling that, oh, I'm not going to lavish fortune. But maybe I might end up with a partner that says, that is nothing, baby girl. Let's move. You cannot even that is life. Like, say, what is that? Do you understand? So you need
to maintain, baby girl.
So it's important that the kids that we are bringing up and we are training understand contentment. Do not follow peer pressure of any type.
Yes.
Know yourself.
What gives you peace? Because this example of yourself and your sister.
Exactly.
Just to show that she has taste. You mentioned. Yeah. But what would she do? Even with her taste, she would not ordinarily do the kind of things she would encourage you because she knows your taste. Yes. But she would never try to do that kind of thing. And that's what people must understand. I always say it here. In 2009, when I got married, my entire nikah would not spend 50,000. I had said to my husband, bring 15 people from your side, 15 people from my side, inclusive of our parents, so every people we are bringing, 30 people. How much will you expect to feed 30 people? The egusi that they used to feed them, my mother broke it with her hand.
By herself.
She went to her backyard and plucked the bitter leaf that she used to make the bitter leaf one. Plucked the ugu, she mixed with the ugu one. This is my mom. Everything was within the resources we had. And my in-laws later came with about 35 people because my mother-in-law has people. They sat on the one side. My people were still that 15 people we had mentioned. We sat on one side. Nikai done. It was in our parlor. Every of my father's daughters had their Nikai done inside that house. So you will now go back with your husband. You want to go and do pepper dem gang.
That's you and him.
You and him. Go and do it. Even on that pepper dem part, I know the role. That's why this particular girl that pushed this man to shock basic, it's like something I've lost.
No, but we could talk about social media pressure. Maybe
which pressure? Peer pressure. See, you might want to pepper them, but it's on your resources. Yes. I had a friend who was a photographer. I had realized that, when my wedding finally comes, this my photographer friend will show up. I hope he's watching.
He did not show up.
280,000 naira bill. 2,000
naira. I had one like that.
I just said, obviously this are, and I've gotten him a lot of gigs, so that I thought, oh my God, for his stock pada. But I'm saying that even on that month, I'm doing a discount for you. I'm going to send my boy. I say, you're not even the one snapping me. Oh, Benny, this friendship I've cast. Today we are no longer friends. I forgot about it. I call a photographer on the side to snap the photo. We will clean it up. You get photo? The one in the house. I get photo day.
Evidence
I get a bomb. End of story.
Let me take Prince from Abuja. Prince, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning, Sophia, and good morning to the beautiful ladies in the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I would like to say that the person in question, I think the lack of communication as husband and wife. Because communication is key. If you are to marry, you should be open enough to discuss with your wife let her know your financial strength, what you have, talk about the concept of borrowing if there is need for it, how it's going to affect you guys' marriage after the wedding, how the repayment is going to look like, and what you have left as a man to be able to take care of your home. Sure. When all that is put in perspective, the woman will definitely still reason whether to go ahead with such or not. Because the most important thing is if you spend 6 million in a wedding and after the wedding you don't have money to take care of the home.
Exactly.
Right from that point you're already having an issue. Taking myself for an instance, before I married, I had to sit my wife down and told her this is what I have. In terms of my savings, this is my total money I have. If we are to do wedding in the next 6 months, in the next 1 year, this is what I can raise more for it. So from that very point, she knows my financial strength. So when the list was coming, imagine an Edoma marrying a Yoruba lady, the list were coming, this is what you need to get and all that. Without me talking, my wife was already talking to her family. My husband cannot do this. We don't have the strength. This is our financial plan. This is what we have. Even at the end of the day, buying cow, she told them, we cannot buy half cow. If you want to buy a cow, please go ahead and do that. So this is what we can afford. Now, funny enough, while planning towards the wedding, I have a plan that if I'm married today, my wife is to come to a comfortable home. So I didn't just look about spending the money for the wedding. While doing that, I was also planning to put my home in the right frame that when my wife comes, she should be comfortable enough. I had to get another apartment, start furnishing it, doing everything, even while I had expenses for marriage. Now, funny enough, after our wedding, we had to go for honeymoon. And I've given her the money to keep for us in preparation for honeymoon. Or I just said, let's stay in the hotel for 1 day, 2 days, we are going back home. I said, we're not going for honeymoon again. She said, no, why? She said, I've used the money for honeymoon you gave me to buy food at home that we eat slow after the wedding.
Oh my God. That's a good wife. That's someone that you build a home with.
If we're going to look at things like this, I think we women, this new trend and new face of I must trend, how did it even fall upon us? How did we accept it? Some people get married, you have a call? Some people get married and you don't even know. You just see them having children. And the next is that, oh, you don't marry, you don't marry. Now, if we begin to look at our kind of association with people, I remember when I had my baby 2 years ago, and I was right on the hospital bed. I was still in the hospital. And my sister was saying that, my youngest sister, she was saying that, we have to pick cloth. In my head, I'm like, did they pick cloth for naming? She was like, yes, your first is 8 years. You understand? You are just having another son. So it's what my sister is Abolo de Feloju. She will help you to widen it. And once she's widening it, one thing I like her for is she's there with her money. She was the one that, we need this. Oh, we need that. I knew that in fact, this Ashebi, she bought for her friends. About 15 of them. She paid.
Lagos people.
Because she felt like, in my head, I'm like, those stressed people, it's just 1 week. We don't bond. We've seen the mother, we've seen the child. She was like, no, this is how I want to do my own. And in all fairness, she didn't ask me for a dime. In fact, it was because of her planning, we took the naming to a hall. That hall on a Monday morning, I gave birth on a Monday. And that hall on that Monday, they had to off the light at 11 o'clock. Because my sister brought in her own people. And in my head, I'm like, they brought in their own people. Farouk, what was channel service? I'm like, but because she was there are some people you call Abani that they know is to follow you and reach there. They have plans. They will push you. Leave you. But some people will push you and say, okay, no, don't worry, I'll stay with you. So if you have such people, then I discovered one thing my sister kept saying that, Auntie Dami, you deserve it. You do for people. I know how many people have housed in this Lagos that I don't know their father, that I don't know their mother. Some of them are still in my house till today. And this thing was communal. Like, I grew up with a lot of people that we didn't know their parents.
When you said the Butemeta, I understand your mentality.
And we didn't know their parents. And my father and my mother would take them. I had friends when we were younger. And like, you do not see where to sleep. Let's go to my house. My mom has slept on the floor for some of my friends to sleep on the bed. And so when these things keep going on and people come back to me and like, your parents were not like that. Oh, you are not like that. Oh, you go all out for people and you get things. It's better. Then association is
but you sold something.
Yeah, you sold
that you're reaping.
That I'm reaping unconsciously.
The last caller made a very, and I know Amaka was waiting to say something. The last caller made a statement that I think we should emphasize, which is making preparation for after. You know, you mentioned it about health. He mentioned about providing comfort, and I recollected counseling a couple that just got married around me, and I said, buy a generator in the house that can carry washing machine and carry the deep freezer. Because she's not going to cook every day or every other day. You need to have microwave, deep freezer, generator, washing machine. These are, for me, in the world of today, if you are marrying a career person, you both must have those things in the house.
I say you are planning your children for 2 years. The children go and pop up.
You must have it. So instead of the money you spend on wedding, use it to buy those things. And I wanted to just reiterate so that somebody watching now can start thinking, maybe the money I want to use to do live band, let me convert it into deep freezer. The money I'm using to do photo book. Exactly. I have a phone call. Amaka. Okay. Let me take this phone call. Father Iro, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning. Software and all that matters in the house. Please, I want to contribute to what you are saying.
Thank you.
That lady is not too considerate, and it's like they don't go with people to party. Because if you have been attending with people will help you. You know, some people, they go to parties and clean mouth. They will just go. People know you. I used to have a friend in Port Harcourt. When we go for party, she will not give a dime. Because another friend now did their birthday party. She now wanted to mark her own 50th birthday. You know, a lot of people drank and drank. That's the way she normally drinks. And did not drop a dime. Then the lady is not even ready to help the man. Because you that wants to elaborate party, you must be able to contribute your own quota. Even if it is her clothes, she puts in that box and takes the key off. It has reduced load on the man. He didn't do that. I think it's the bride family that people take more of the load than the groom family. So how come the man is owing money? I'm sorry to say, it looks like he's foolish.
No, it's cultural.
I mean, it's okay, you can say it.
In our custom, you don't overburden yourself. Now, the marriage is starting on a shaky ground now. If care is not taken, the thing might scatter. So they need to, maybe you yourself, you will take up this topic at another time. So that the young ones will know what to do. Even the wedding dress will not be too expensive. It's only for that day. If you go after that day and be wearing the gown, people will say, Abi Arolosiwa. So the gown should not be too elaborate, too flamboyant, if you are not from a wealthy home. So, but there are so many things they put themselves in this mess. They find themselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
so,
yes. Okay, so because I agree with her too, and then I also wanted to take this to a different angle where, you know, like financial planning, every individual, I want to believe that when you get your salary, or you should be able to have the money for, you should be able to plan to your savings, you should be able to plan for money for enjoyment or whatever. So there should be a plan. And then if you're doing that as an individual and then you meet another person, hopefully by the time if you interact with that person and that person has the same goals as you in terms of financial planning, it also helps you guys to have a budget for your wedding and marriage. But that being said, please, if you can afford your enjoyment and afford to have your elaborate wedding, please enjoy yourself. Nobody gives anybody award for suffering. Yes. Nobody gives you award like as in that as a husband, the woman now says you can afford the honeymoon, and then you don't want to take her for honeymoon, you want to not keep the honeymoon money. Women, nobody gives you an award. If a man has the money and he's not spending on you, he's taking it somewhere else. That's a reality. So if your husband, if you're getting married, he has the money and you have the money, don't shortchange yourself. As far as you've kept you have your planning, you have your priorities right, you have your investment. There is no shortchange yourself. This life is for enjoyment. You can have your dream wedding. Yeah. Do you understand? You can enjoy yourself. You can go for honeymoon for one. You can take a year off and tour the world. So let me say something. I like that Amaka brought this angle in. I don't know if I'm permitted to, but Kemi Adetiba had a dream wedding. She had a classy wedding. Some people in the celebrity circle took their own in the outside country to destination wedding. If you can afford it, do it. It's this same industry. Some people had their weddings, check them, and they close mouth. And their marriage, their marriage is sustaining. The point I'm trying to make is that there are two sides to everything in life. Absolutely. Stay your side and be content and happy with it. That's Magbo. These celebrities now. This show, we're not talking to only the celebrities. Yeah. Just as I said earlier, Amaka is a lawyer in a particular industry that is more lucrative. I'm a lawyer too. I will not go and chop the business just because I must show people that my own lawyer is, me too, my own lawyer is here, me too, I will not greedy. It's what I can afford. Yeah. I will chase. So if you are in a... It's what I can afford. If you're an actor or OAP, and your money is not big like some other OAP, the person can even be spending from their inheritance, their trust funds. So don't look at somebody's clock to tell your time. You will be in trouble. Do your wedding as you can. Let me tell you something, Tokwe. My box was full. You know how it was full. I was in business. I know every corner in Lagos Island where the highest fabric, the most expensive thing I wanted can come out of. I bought them. I kept them. There was 2 weddings in my family the week I got married. My sister was on Thursday, mine was on Saturday. And she was worried. Hey, with Nima's Wahala, Nima that knows. You know that I done my skin therapy for my wedding. I got it burnt before my wedding because I was forced to go out. Usually my family, if your wedding is and you're in Lagos in a month, you can't go. I left Abuja Law School, came for my wedding in Lagos, and I had to go to the market. Because my sister was worried that how will she pick all these things? It's Nima that knows all these sports. I couldn't enjoy my skin therapy for my skin to heal. Sometimes, if that girl had brought her resourcefulness inside and said, okay, I want this wedding. This game? I'm telling you something. No, if you want it, you can get it within your resourcefulness. Yes. The man might not know. My husband does not work at Lagos. My husband don't know all these things. It's me who knew it. It's me who know. I know the Eleron. I know the Alaga. I know the DJ that everything. And everything was working. On my wedding, my sisters would come into the podium to meet me. Nima, wait to be the next thing. Because I'm the one that knows everybody that was there. Yes. And I went home free, debt free. Because I know
Everybody was paid before time. Everything was paid for. But it was my resourcefulness. Cut price, cut this. I was saying, no, we are not paying for that. Okay, you know, get another. I'll call 4 people. I know other people. I'll call my friends. Pardon me, Alpha. Something that was for 150K, I will get it for 50K. I know, you know to ride on. You can then tell people who can come to the wedding and say, these people have overspent. But you know, in my wedding, people had alcohol. I'm a Muslim. You know how they had the alcohol. At the wedding venue, I knew my uncles. If my father does not give them that alcohol, they will bring it. So I told the hall people, do you people have that section? Let them know that they can put share in this corner. So inside the hall, you will see my uncles. They were in that corner actually. The person had agreed to just set their table. My uncles came and they said, I know Alaji, you're not going to give us anything we want. My younger sister's wedding was worse. Somebody even brought champagne for YK, waiting to see YK. My younger sister's wedding. My dad would never serve you the alcohol. In your resourcefulness, you must know what gives. As Samaka says, know thyself. And see, I don't know why people can't own themselves. I wear my clothes. My cloth does not wear me. It does not have to be I don't wear the tag.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't wear the tag. Exactly. It's my cloth I wear.
Exactly.
So live your life, live it comfortably, peacefully. You go back to your bed, you sleep. Peace of mind is something that we don't thank God enough for.
Honestly.
Can I just quickly
add something? Let me take Elizabeth, then I'll come to you. Elizabeth has called from Abuja. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, ladies. Well done.
Good morning.
This is a very interesting topic. I want to start by telling you a life story. It happened to me. Although the marriage has packed up, but it happened to me. Now, Oga wanted to do a lavish wedding. He could not afford it. And he wanted to meet up with the standard. So nobody knows how he got the money. But the funny part of it was that when it was time for the reception, all the people he was owing money, they wore a shoebi and came for the reception. And so after the reception, it was like we had to run away. Because after the reception, he didn't know how to explain. So in a nutshell, Amaka, this thing you are saying, if the man can afford it, there's another dimension knowing where this money is coming from before you start. Before you start. So at the end of the day, if you really look at this thing, it's the resourcefulness that Nima is talking about from the human side. Arrange yourself. Babe, if you cannot afford this, stop looking at the man can afford it because you don't know where this money is coming from. A lot of people are not looking and straightforward. So, like, I think if you come down to doing it based on you as a person, not doing it based on your calculation of another person's resources. Some of this money can be stolen items, fraudulent activities, just to meet up at standards or meet up the base plan. Again, do you, but from another perspective.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth.
Sorry. Yeah, so I wanted to also say that you must not have a big event. People have small, tasteful and classy events. Like my partner at work, as in he had a wedding with all the money he has. He just did a registry wedding and then like a party, not up to 50. Yes, and it was so classy, so tasteful. Like I said, personality matters, regardless of whether you have money or not. You can have something small, be resourceful, let it be tasteful, let's be classy, and don't look at anybody. I don't understand this age of everyday social media. What is social media about? Like, why do you wake up, why do you train up a child, or you as a human being, you're easily influenced by other people? What we date, who are these people? I keep wondering, who are these people? Do you at all times?
Yeah, I think there are some times that we also need to look back and look at the kind of families that raised us. Some children grew up seeing their mothers in this terrain. Oh, because they know they live with the mom. They know she didn't have money, but she will squeeze, she will borrow, she will collect a large job to attend somebody's wedding. So they automatically feel that, oh, when is our time? Things like this happen. Social media. It's not necessarily social media. Some people have seen the pressure from home when their mothers or their fathers are squeezing and they are struggling to be at the par when they also want to attend weddings. Another thing is our tradition, our kind of custom and tradition. I remember that when my friend in Ilorin, she was getting married that year, and she practically put to bed on a Wednesday, and her wedding was Friday, Saturday. So I got to Ilorin on Thursday, and on that Friday of the engagement, they are from Benue. And on that Friday of the engagement, the things they brought, we saw it that she and her husband were just trying to manage. If I was the parent, I would have said, okay, you know what, just do the mundane thing within the living room. So they went all out. They got, it was a field, they got the canopy and all of that. And simply because I think it was supposed to be a 10-liter keg of palm oil, and the husband's people brought 5. That's how my friend's father, Yario. That the wife is not going anywhere. They counted the fish. Out of 60 pieces, they brought 35. What are they saying? Let me not lie to you. That girl went back to her father's house that night. The parents of the husband took the child to their own house. That after all, it's you that owns the mother. We are the owner of the child. And it was after 3 days.
Imagine such and pepper scatter.
Do you understand? It was after baby that just came on that Wednesday, and on Friday, everybody does scatter. So I think on Sunday was when they now had to finalize. They brought those materials because the man no agree.
He must complete.
I'm sitting down here. My bridal yam just complete last year.
So they brought those.
No, but your dad is just your dad is different and is an amazing person. May God rest his soul.
So there are some times where I'm going to...
Because some family, we need to call out these wicked parents that will say this is culture. Because in this thing we call culture, we suffer ourselves. Oh, the yam must be... I've gone for a traditional wedding before with the husband's family. And it is Isha people. They say there is bridal yam. The yam must be long.
It's a big go.
Yeah. Must be
100 tubers, this and that. With my young husband, when just they start. Want to kill him?
They had to. They counted the yam.
If we look at it, if we look at it again, that's why. Do you know that? Funny enough, some Igbo.
No, my bride price is
as much as a lot of maybe people want to cross marry, you see some bridal lists, and they're like, this one money, I will spend it for the next 10 years. So I think also that parents should be considered.
Let's talk about bridal lists. In bridal lists, there are certain items that are priority that must be done immediately.
Absolutely.
So I remember that my bridal list, there was money for my mom. My mom said I waived it. My in-laws insisted that they must give her something. They put one small envelope in her hand. We don't know how much. You know, my father said I waived it. My bride price on the list that my grandfather left, that they've used for my aunties, that they said they will use for me in the 2000s, was 250 naira. So obviously, but my mar, my mar was between me and my husband. Trust me, I collect gold.
That's it.
My mar, I told him, if you can't afford it immediately, you will give me later. He said, no, I will give you the gold immediately. The cash, I can give you later. I collect that cash twice. When I don't born finish, the guy was happy one day. Somebody was talking about Mary. He looked at me, he gave me again. It's not immediately, nah. You want to chop it off. My bridal list. I looked at that list. My father was like, this yam thing. My husband was like, he said, the two of you seems like you're not doing well now. You can postpone this one. When we now postpone it, now became a dispute of forgotten. Last year, my mother-in-law went to the village, packed my bridal yam, the bonga fish, all the area, all the housewives carried it again. So the family where my father had already passed. Because if they don't do it for me, when they are coming to marry my daughter, my in-laws will not be entitled to that money. So she insisted on doing. Some things are not. It's not die. No.
So
you can remove some things.
Parents and our guardians and custodians of culture and religion or tradition, they should begin to look at. There's this notion in town that Igbos stay long. Igbo ladies, they stay long because before they get married.
It's not all Igbo.
That's what they are peculiar to states. But that's why I said the perception. It's like, before you marry an Igbo girl, you do like this.
There's another tribe that they are not Igbos. That's their own. The list can actually kill you. I will cover that.
You understand? So they should please review so that a lot of people will not cut corners and try to over-impress.
People have attacked my gender. And I need to support women because all of you called out all the women that are the ones that want lavish wedding. In most cases, most girls getting married are far younger than, in most cases, not all, they are far younger. The men are older. The men make the decision. No man can say, my wife or my fiancé pressured me to spend money and collect loan. You are the man. In support of my gender, please do not blame the women next time for not being prudent, for not managing. Because some men are also loud. They are large. They want to be loud. They want to show. I'm finally doing it. Let everybody know I've arrived. So let's not put so much responsibility on the woman or the girl being the one that wanted that loud life. So let our girls become more confident to ask where did you get the money from? Because some are in cults, some are in associations that are bringing money. And how can you be dating somebody? The person is driving a big car, living in a big house. You did not know that he's doing Yahoo Plus. You don't know his means of livelihood. No matter how he's lying to you, you two open your eyes and pay attention, you know.
Like what she was talking about religion, you know, like from where I'm from Onitsha, right? we don't do elaborate burials. All those that should be or anything. Yes, you know the heads.
See, people don't know that.
Yes, we don't do that in Onitsha. If you want to do that, then you pay a fine. That means you're from a wealthy home, and then you can afford it. So you pay the fine to be able to have the food after the burial or where Ashebi and all those things. It comes at a cost. So you know. Like you said, even for weddings, all those things, people should be able to have a choice to say, okay, this is grand zero, negotiate, even traditional weddings, this is what we can afford. And parents too, that know that their kids can't afford something, should be able to waive those things and say, and cover up the kids and say, you know, this is this, and we're done with that.
Thank God Amaka said that. Somebody is saying, call Michael, is saying, I be calling Michael, he says, to marry Igbo girls, no be here. Somebody said earlier that I want to marry Amaka, I will need about 1,000 of yams.
We don't know. We don't get where to keep them. I beg, no bring.
Let me take Perez, and then we'll continue with the social media comments. Perez, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
I enjoyed your topic. But the only thing I want to say, I know majority of women, now you are blaming the man. When a woman wants something, the way they used to pressurize.
Yes, you have been blaming women.
Men cannot stand their pressure. That's why they will have learned to do that. Then also the marital list that you are saying. Some tribes, the way they are doing, most especially when it's intermarriage with another tribe, where they are supposed to take 1 naira, they will take 5,000 or 10,000. You take advantage, so this is what we are doing. But if they are from the same community or the same environment, they will understand themselves better. Where I come from, I'm from Bayelsa. They will tell you that marriage, you cannot pay all the things one day.
They pay finish. That's what we say.
Always a better.
I know they pay marriage finish.
It's marrying from. So even if you don't do all, there are some things. It's the bride price that is the most important.
Most important thing, yeah.
Some people up to now, they are still taking 59 or 100 naira.
Oh.
But the people who want to show up, if you pay bride price or 100 naira and you want to call the old lady to celebrate with you, that is your own cup of tea. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you so much, Perez. Okay, so I know that the topic I want to say now, we cannot discuss it today, but let me just put it out there for next time. Don't do it on Saturday show. We'll reserve it for next time. Because I feel that we need to review our cultural wedding list. What our cultural wedding list says about us is not good. When you check most of the family lists, the first thing you see is alcohol, alcohol, alcohol. Are we drunks? Is it our culture to get beer, different? They will list different types of beer, specific ones. Then, of course, you must bring the aromatic hair. I'm like, why is it that if you see the list, it's heavier on alcohol?
Not all lists. Not all lists.
Culture, they are not alcohol.
Alcohol in your own list?
No. And it's been reviewed over and over.
And Yorubas, they've reviewed their own. My cousin was getting married, their list was chocolate. This because they said the children wanted. I mean, the siblings
who brought
and aunties wanted
letter to your list. It was reviewed.
It was reviewed.
Head of family in my own place. If my daughters get the person that is head of family now will be the one to give you a list, and he could have reviewed it
and remove the alcohol.
And you can. There's one thing I understood from my wedding: approaching your parents nicely.
To ask.
My dad used to make it easy for everybody, and so he could tell them, "Wait for my daughter's yams." All of us, our yams, they waited on. But this yam was delivered, except for our last born. Nobody's yam was delivered on the month of the wedding. You wait because he asked, "Did I collect from your daughter?" He could review it. And you can always approach them that me and my husband, we are just starting our life. Now, what are the things that we must do now? This is the amount we have. You can approach your parents, your head of family. I hope
have
they
the confidence too.
Have the confidence too.
And let our parents and our head of families be open and understanding. We're running out of time.
All those uncles that are doing, if you reach your daughter onto who will give you pressure. Because you pressure them. But I don't think it should.
Raise her.
Don't pressure.
As in, my husband has been saying, oh, next year you're clocking 40, next year you're clocking 40. I said, please, I'm not doing party. Just buy me gold. Any money you want to use to do any party, just use it to give me. Just buy me gold. That's the only thing I want. He's looking at me like, And is that everybody's pressure of you have to do something? You have to do something. I don't know how I'm going to escape it next year, but
I've had a particular birthday before that I didn't turn on my phone. And my partner was practically
me. I usually do birthday. I do birthday.
And my
everybody
likes
birthday.
No,
I celebrate on Instagram 1 month in advance. I will do photo shoot. Trust me. I am photo shooting from January, February, March till May.
For that next year, we have to do that.
I do photo shoot.
We are pricing Amaka's bridal yam. Don't worry, I will collect it. The 1,000 tubers. Don't worry.
Final comments from everyone as we round off.
Okay. Final comment is that, like Amaka also said, I'm also in that school of thought. Don't be somebody on the league of L and you are playing somebody on the league of A. Find your LMNOPQ. You are within the same range. You understand? Don't go looking for what you don't have. Because this one that they are borrowed to do wedding, I'm definitely sure that they will borrow for house naming. Rent. They will borrow for house rent. They'll probably borrow for school fees. They will borrow to feed at some point because it's already a culture. There are some cultures that we don't need to imbibe because of peer pressure. It won't pay us on the long run.
Exactly. Final words.
Man, know thyself.
100%.
Okay, now.
Thank you.
You can have any wedding you want. Just be resourceful. Let it be something you can achieve on your own. If you cannot visualize achieving it, don't push it.
Thank you so much, ladies. It's been an amazing week. That's all we can take on today's show. We've learned a whole lot. Like, I had a full list, but I can't even take advice from the right people. Never borrow for wedding. Men must take a stand. Don't do more than yourself. Marry your match. Teach. We must teach contentment more. Marriage is not an investment. This is a ceremony, and it shouldn't be taken as that. Nigerians should go back to the culture of savings, and we must support one another. You know, if you know something, say something. That's all we can take once again. See you all on Your View Pigeon tomorrow. Yeah, Dama will be here. Bye.
Bye.